777-300. If needed, lights at floor level.
First
direct
class
you to the
Emirates.
nearest
Let's
exit.
go to the review.
So here you get this really nice iPad you get to control the whole system with. Then you have a bunch of cooler with drinks. You have a desk. You have some amenities on the desk. You have a bunch of snacks. Then there's this really cool drawer here that comes with a book and a pen. This book was actually really nice and I've been using it. Also, the TV is freaking massive. I don't know how big it is, but it's massive. And you have three windows. Look how big it is. Next to me, there was nobody. There's about 9 seats for the first class, and there's only 3 of us. Also, you get some pretty cool, comfortable sleepers, which I did keep after the flight. So, being 6'1", having all this space, I'm telling you guys, it's freaking awesome. There's a whole lot of storage here. You have this whole cabinet you can put your stuff in. I threw my shirts back there. This chair was really comfortable bedding and pillow. And this chair was really, really comfortable as well. You have a little bit of a mirror there where you can look at yourself if you want to. Then you have some more storage space, some more space for your bag, and then you have your headphones there. When you watch TV or whatever, they're super comfortable. Then you have the snacks here. My favorite were definitely the potato chips. You have some spicy nuts, mints, chocolates, and those sort of things. And they came and they actually brought me some Arabic coffee, as well as something which I thought was a chocolate, but it wasn't. I think it's a date, and I'm not sure exactly what it was. I did like the taste of it though, and it was my first time having Arabic coffee as well. I didn't ask for any sugar or milk. I didn't know if I was supposed to or how it was supposed to really be drinked, so I just gave it a shot drinking a black. And like I said, it was my first time having it, so I didn't know if I was gonna like it or not. But tasting it, I actually did like it. I can't lie to you guys, I do prefer my cappuccinos, but it was definitely a nice little experience for me since I never had it before. Next up, we are gonna start taking off. We took off from Rome, so we're flying from Rome all the way to Dubai. It's about a 5-hour flight, which is really not that bad. And depending on the wind, can be a little longer, can be a little shorter, but it's not a bad ride at all. Now, a really cool feature of this seat is that you have 100% privacy. So this uses an automated door that you can close with a little push of a button, and you fully close it, which is really cool. Being on a flight, usually you do not have privacy, but on this seat, you have 100% privacy. You do have some empty space up here where they can look over to you, but it's still really comfortable. Then let's look at the menu. That's, of course, you're flying first class. You're gonna look at the menu. What's there to eat? What's there to drink? And let me tell you guys, this menu was massive. There was so much food, and I guess they rotate it every few weeks or so, and they add new meals and everything. So I did try my best to eat as much as I could, but I'm telling you guys, it was so big, the menu, that I was not able to eat pretty much even half of what's on the menu. But I did try my best. And will definitely be a lot of food eating in this video, let me tell you guys. Also, for the drinks, they have a bunch of wines, champagnes, drinks. They'll make you any drink that you want. I had to order myself a cappuccino. Emirates makes their cappuccino, so that's when I went for. It's actually a nice cappuccino. I just can't see the ice in there. Then I decided to mess around a little bit with the system on the iPad, and let me tell you guys, there's so many movies, TV shows, anything that you want, any genre. Just pretty much, if you go on this flight, you're not gonna be bored. There's so many options. You have Wi-Fi, you have internet, you have Disney shows, you have sports, you have news, anything that you like. I have put on some Disney show up there, just to mess around with it. Also, pretty cool thing, you have shutters here. You can make it out dark or less dark as you want. So you have 3 options with this. If you want just a little bit dark, or you want it fully blacked out, and you do have a button that you can press all 3 windows at once, since you do have 3 windows. Then you press this button right here and look at this table. Pretty cool table. Obviously it's gigantic because all the food you're going to be eating. And then I took a look at some of these snacks that they give you. They give you a lot of nuts. Then they have this really actually good chocolates. I've never seen this brand before, but I really enjoy these chocolates. Then these nuts, they were a little too spicy for me. I didn't really like them. Some more chocolate. I'm not a huge chocolate person, but these mints right here, they actually came in really clutch, and I kept them with me. But by far, my favorite were the potato chips. That were like potato chips, and as you can see, I ate some of them. Then, I started getting ready. Decided to order myself some champagne. Of course, I'm not a big drinker, but I had to celebrate this really nice seat I had. So I got some orange champagne. And like I said, I'm not a huge drinker, but I did really like the taste of this, and it was definitely very, very nice. I did feel it through the flight a little bit. I'll tell you guys that much. Then, some time went by. I got some work done and it got a little bit darker. I got hungry. So I was like, you know what? Let me start my meals. And the really cool thing that if you're flying first class on Emirates is that the menu is a la carte, which means you can order anything on the menu at any time they want. You just let them know, hey, I want this meal or whatever it is, and they'll bring it to you whenever and how much of it as you want to. Then they set your table. They bring out water, and then they bring that little bit of vodka. I guess it's to clean your palate if you're into that. I definitely did not like it, so I didn't drink it. Then they bring some bread, butter, all pretty much things that you need when you're doing your meal. The staff was just super, super nice. They were super cool with me recording. I was trying not to bother them, but they didn't really seem to care at all. And they bring you a few spoons for your appetizers and everything like that. They pretty much set your table every single time you have a different meal with the whatever you're gonna need. Like for this example, we're gonna be eating a lot of caviar, so they bring me 3 different little spoons for the caviar. But I'd say I was eating a steak, they'll bring me a steak knife. Now here is our caviar. If you're not liking seafood, this is really, really good. I've had caviar in actually a really long time, and this was really great. It was black caviar. To bring some onion, lettuce, sour cream, that type of stuff to add it, with a little pita bread slices to put it on as well. Then I found some lighting here because it did get dark, so I'm gonna put in some better lighting for you guys and try my first bite of this caviar. Definitely felt very bougie, and it tasted really good. Let me tell you guys that. Also, another thing that they do on this flight that's really cool is they have an actual full kitchen. So you tell them and they actually make it for yourself. So it's not airplane food. It's an actual kitchen with a chef, which is just awesome. And that's why the food tastes so good. Celebrating this, I had a little bit more of my champagne. And like I said, I'm not a big drinker, but the champagne was really, really good. So another thing I thought was cool, small thing, salt and peppers. They looked pretty awesome to me. It's like I said, a really small thing, but it definitely, all the little details add up to the experience. Then they bring out this mushroom soup. This is my second appetizer. They bring out the mushroom, they bring the soup, they pour on top of it. This is by far my favorite appetizer. I'll be honest with you guys. The whole presentation, the smell, the textures were just awesome. And this is almost like a food review, just because that's how good the food was here. All the food was pretty much restaurant quality, and I'm not even joking about that, which, it is to be expected for how much you pay for this ticket. Then decided to take my first bite of the soup, and I didn't expect myself to like it as much as it did. As you can tell from my face, I was like, wow, this is actually really, really tasty, as you can see there. And the crunchiness of the mushroom, the full mushrooms, is actually was really, really great. Then they're gonna bring me out my third appetizer. Yes, we're already on our third appetizer. This one very Arabic infusion. You have hummuses, you have pita breads, you have some of those pickled stuff that's like carrots, and I'm not sure what that green thing was, but I tried it anyway. Then they give you try my pita, try this pickled green thing, and if you do know what it is, let me know in the comments. I didn't know what it was. To be honest with you guys, I was not like a huge fan of it. I don't eat too much Arabic food in my life, so it's probably, it was a different taste than what I was used to, but it was definitely really cool to try. Then I tried this other thing. It's again, I did like this thing, but I didn't know what it was. Then I tried to put in some of the hummus. This I think it was a red pepper hummus, which I did enjoy. Next up, our last appetizer, and now we're at 4 appetizers, but this one was pretty light. It was a panna cotta salad, and it really threw me off. Some of the flavors, panna cotta is usually dessert, so some of these flavors were definitely pretty cool to try. This one was one of those meals that at first bite you didn't really enjoy, and you'll be able to tell by my face. I was like, very confused by the taste, but I promise you, the more you eat this, the more you start liking it. And it was pretty cool eating it. The more I ate it, I was like, I'm actually, this is kind of growing on me. It's definitely a lot of sour and sweet flavors combined together, but definitely cool to try. Next up, let's move on to the filet mignon. This is the main meal, or one of the main meals actually. Pretty cool to ask you how you want to cook, because there is a chef with a cast iron, cooks it fresh for you. And I asked for a medium rare. Usually I wouldn't on an airplane, but I was like, hey, this is Emirates first class. It's going to be tasty, right? So look at that piece of meat. It was awesome. It was great. Seasoned really good. And this was by far my favorite main course meal that I had. I did only have 2 because I got so full so quickly. The mashed potato was also great. The green beans was great. And let me tell you guys, I was getting pretty full. Next up, we got some broccoli. We got some chicken. We got some couscous. You know, it gets pretty healthy here. And this was my second entree. And I'm telling you guys, I ate all this within the span of 4 hours. So, you know, I was getting really full. And they pour juices on top of it, which helps with, you know, not making it dry and, you know, really making adding a lot of those flavors on there. I really enjoyed this. The couscous was really great. The chicken was alright. Like I said, it was one of my last meals, so I probably was more full. And I probably would enjoy this a lot more if it was one of my first or second meals, because I would, you know, not been as full. Then I was like, you know what? It's done with the main meals. Let's go with some desserts, and these were really good. This is an ice cream affogato. They put a little vanilla ice cream there with some coffee beans. There's a little bit of turbulence, but the lady did a really great job not spilling any of the espresso. And she just pours it all in there. Being from Italy, of course, I really like this. The flight attendant, she was just so nice to me the whole flight. And I was stoked for this. Needed some coffee in me and some sweet. So, you know, I decided to just give it a drink, since, you know, it isn't an ice cream espresso affogato anyway, right? So give it a drink first and then give it a bite into the ice cream. Let me tell you guys, I actually finished this whole thing, which I thought I was too full for, but the flavors and the caffeine definitely, you know, made me more hungry, and I decided to just finish it. Another really cool thing about this flight is that they actually do come pick you up from anywhere you are. It's complimentary. You tell them where you are, as long as it's about, I think, a 50-mile distance. They come pick you up in a really nice car, and then once you land, you get to go anywhere you want. So they have another private car taking you pretty much complimentary anywhere you want, as long as I believe it's between a 50-mile distance, which is cool. You know, since I was going to Dubai, I didn't really know the area too well. I was able to tell them the hotel I was staying at, and they were able to take me there with no issues. Now that we finished our first dessert, of course, I tell them, bring it on. Our second dessert, and we got a caramel chocolate cake. Another really awesome and tasty meal. They bring you the caramel on the side, and, you know, they poured all my foods for me, all the juices. So I was like, you know what? Let me pour the caramel for myself. You know, gives me something to do, giving myself my try, and I felt like a 5-star chef here. Again, all the meals on this were tasty. Give it a try here. That's vanilla, the caramel, and, you know, usually I'm not a huge fan of chocolate, like I said before. And I don't like cakes that are dry. This was not dry. Had a lot of flavors to it, and of course, I really enjoyed this. I do prefer the ice cream affogato more, but it's probably just because I'm Italian, you know, and I'm not a huge fan of chocolate anyway. So chocolate cake is not my favorite, but, you know, I still ate this, which says a lot. And the caramel flavorings were really good. But let me tell you guys, you do so much eating here that it does get you tired quite quickly. So after eating all these meals, I thought it was finally time. Let me have them set up my bed. You tell them to set up your bed. They set it up for you. And this, I think, is about probably a twin size. You have a huge screen there to look at when you're falling asleep. And just look how big this was. You know, I really got above it so I could show you guys. And I was so surprised. I really was on how comfortable this mattress was. This mattress was pretty much even more comfortable than some of the hotels I've stayed at. I'm surprised how well they did this. And another cool thing, while it is dark, they have all these little stars on the ceiling. Feels like when you're inside the Rolls Royce. It's a pretty cool feeling, just to add to the vibe. So we're landing about 40 minutes faster than we would have. I wish we got to stay here longer, because this bed is literally like feels better than most mattresses in hotel rooms. The service was outstanding, the food was great, such a good experience. Kind of sad that the one plane I take gets there 40 minutes sooner, but hey, whatever. So I'm gonna take a quick little, try to take a little 1 hour nap, and then we'll wake up and we'll be in Dubai. Bulk of my flight was spent eating and sleeping, of course, since, you're on a flight, and super excited we're finally landing on Dubai, since we did get here a little bit before. I got to hang out with some crypto influencers, and I really enjoyed the experience, and I will definitely be looking to coming back here again and, flying first class Emirates again. Super, super cool, and I recommend it.